My name is Emma Walker. I'm 30 years old. And a few weeks ago, I heard my own father say I was too embarrassing to be seen with my brother's new in-laws. I was standing in the hallway, holding a mug of coffee, when his voice cut through the air from the living room. Asterisk, your brother's in-laws are elite. You'll humiliate us. Do you understand, Emma? Don't ruin this. Asterisk. He said it like I was a problem to be managed, not his daughter. My brother had just gotten engaged to a millionaire heiress, the kind of woman you see in glossy hotel magazines, and suddenly my messy date-nerd life in Austin was a threat to their shiny new image. They didn't care that I spent my nights rebuilding hotel revenue models and fixing broken booking systems. To them, I was just the awkward girl who asked too many questions at dinner and never knew what fork to use. So while they packed suitcases full of designer outfits for a New Year's Eve engagement party at a luxury resort, I was told to stay home. Keep things simple, they said. What they didn't know. Those same elite in-laws had been working with me for months, under a different name, trusting my numbers to save their entire business. And on the night they tried to hide me, those in-laws ended up staring at a framed photo, recognizing my face and speaking my name in front of everyone. Have you ever been treated like the family embarrassment, only to find out you're the one holding all the power? Stay with me, because the way this party flipped from humiliation to quiet, dignified revenge is something you'll want to hear until the very end. I didn't grow up thinking I was embarrassing. As a kid, I just thought I was different. While other kids at our family barbecues ran around the yard, I sat at the plastic table counting how many hot dogs people took, and wondering why Uncle Mike always left early. I asked questions that made adults uncomfortable. Asterisk, why do you invest in that company if their debt is so high? Asterisk. Asterisk, why do you say we're fine with money if mom works 2 jobs? Asterisk. People laughed at first. Then they stopped inviting me into conversations altogether. My parents, Thomas and Karen Walker, would pull me aside afterward. Asterisk, Emma, can you please just be normal for once? Smile. Talk about school. Don't interrogate people. Asterisk. Meanwhile, my older brother Ethan was everything they wanted. He knew exactly when to laugh, when to compliment someone's watch, when to ask about golf. At his high school graduation dinner, I remember standing too close to the waiter, asking about tips and wages, and bumping into a tray of marinara sauce. Red splattered all over a guest's white dress. The whole table went silent. My mother's face turned the color of that sauce. And my father grabbed my arm so hard it hurt and hissed. Asterisk, this is exactly what I mean. You don't belong in these settings. Asterisk. After that, I stopped trying to fit in at their kind of party. Instead, I buried myself in numbers. In high school, I taught myself spreadsheets for fun. In college, while others posted pictures from frat parties, I was running A/B tests on website layouts for a tiny bed and breakfast that couldn't afford a real agency. I studied business analytics and computer science, discovering I could take messy data and turn it into clean answers. Hotels started coming to me with the same problem. Too many empty rooms, not enough guests. I'd sit in my dorm room at 3 a.m., tweaking prices and ad strategies until the graphs finally turned upward. But back home in the suburbs of Austin, none of that mattered. When I mentioned landing my first client, my mom smiled politely and said, Asterisk, so, you're still doing that online thing? Asterisk. My dad waved it off. Asterisk, it's just temporary. She'll get a real job eventually. Asterisk. Ethan, meanwhile, went straight into law after college and instantly became the golden boy again. My parents introduced him to everyone as Asterisk, our future partner at a big firm in Dallas. Our pride and joy. Asterisk. When I showed up to family dinners in jeans after a 12-hour day consulting for 3 small hotels at once, my mother whispered, Asterisk, could you at least pretend you're not working from your bedroom? Asterisk. At some point, something in me snapped. If they were never going to see my value in the room, I would build it quietly outside the room. I registered my own small consulting business, Walker Analytics, and started saying no when my parents tried to drag me to parties where I knew I'd be the punchline. I chose data over dinner tables, dashboards over polite small talk. And while they were busy polishing Ethan's image, I was learning something they had no idea about. In the right hands, numbers can change the fate of an entire company. The question was, what would happen the day my numbers collided with their obsession over status? The first time Harrington and Vale came into my life, it was because someone else was desperate. An email popped up. Asterisk urgent. Mid-size resort chain in trouble. Can you help? Asterisk. A luxury brand with big marketing budgets, and even bigger expectations, was collapsing post-pandemic. That client? Harrington and Vale Resorts. I didn't know it yet, but this was Leah Harrington's family empire. Graham Harrington called me himself. His voice was frayed but sharp. Asterisk, we've been told you can pull numbers out of the fire. Asterisk. He asked for honesty, not fluff. So I dove in. Their pricing was static in a dynamic market. Their ads targeted the wrong people. Their mobile checkout was a nightmare. I built a plan. Dynamic pricing, demand-driven campaigns, packages for remote workers and local travelers. It was risky, so I put part of my fee on the line. If I failed, I'd make almost nothing. The first month, bookings inched up. The second month, the graph bent hard upward. Revenue climbed. Occupancy soared. Graham called me late one night, voice lighter than I'd ever heard. Asterisk, you have no idea what you've done for us, Emma. Asterisk. They wanted to honor me. A case study wall at their flagship resort. My photo. My name. I sent a headshot, half-joking, asterisk, just in case you insist. Asterisk. On the mock-up, my face sat in a gold frame with the caption, Data and Growth Strategist, Emma Walker. I closed the file quickly. To me, it was just another quiet win. What I didn't realize. That same resort would soon host my brother's engagement party. 3 months later, Ethan called. I'm engaged, he said, dropping the word like a trophy. Asterisk to Leah. Leah Harrington. Asterisk. My breath caught. Asterisk Harrington? As in, Harrington and Vale. Asterisk. Yeah, he grinned. Asterisk, her family owns this insane resort empire. Asterisk. Of course they did. I forced a smile. Asterisk, that's great. I'm happy for you. Asterisk. Then came the pause. The shift. Asterisk, so. There's a New Year's Eve engagement party at one of her family's resorts. It's huge, donors, politicians, big names. Asterisk. I waited for the invitation. Instead, he cleared his throat. Asterisk, look, Emma. I think it's better if you sit this one out. Asterisk. Asterisk, sit it out? It's your engagement party. Asterisk. It's a very particular crowd, he said carefully. Asterisk, you know how you get in those situations. You ask heavy questions. You don't play the game. Asterisk. Asterisk, too stressful for me. Or too embarrassing for you. Asterisk. He winced. Later that day, I stood in the hallway unseen, as my parents spoke in hushed tones. Your brother's in-laws are elite, Dad said. Asterisk, we can't risk Emma rambling about money or calling out someone's business model. She'll humiliate us. Asterisk. Mom sighed. Asterisk, she doesn't mean to. But this could be Ethan's doorway into something better. We can't let her ruin it. Asterisk. The words landed harder than any slap. They were terrified I'd embarrass them, in front of the very people whose fortunes I'd helped rebuild. I closed my eyes, took a slow breath. Fine. If they wanted to hide me, let them. They had no idea how small their version of this story really was. New Year's Eve arrived. My parents left for the airport in their best clothes. My mom in a dress she couldn't afford, my dad in a tie he pretended was designer. They waved from the driveway. I waved back. The beautiful daughter told to stay home for her own good. That night I sat alone with takeout and my laptop. My phone buzzed with photos. The resort lobby dripping in chandeliers. Champagne towers. Leah in a silver gown descending a grand staircase like a movie star. In one clip I heard my dad telling someone, asterisk, that's my son up there. He's marrying into the Harrington family. Asterisk. I stared until the screen blurred. Then I opened a different window, the Harrington and Vale year-end dashboard. Real-time bookings poured in. Revenue bars filled. The lines I had bent upward were now funding their glittering celebration. An email popped up. Asterisk year-end update and special request. Asterisk. From Graham. He wrote, asterisk, you didn't just tweak a few ads, Emma. You changed how we understand our business. Asterisk. Attached. A mock-up of the wall of innovation, and there near the center was my photo. My name. My work. We're unveiling this at a major partners and family event next season, he wrote. Asterisk, we'd love to finally meet you in person. Asterisk. I replied, asterisk, I'd be honored. Asterisk. Then I set my phone down and listened to fireworks echo outside. They thought they'd erase me from this night. But my name was already stitched into the foundation of their shiny new world. They just hadn't realized it yet. Months passed. Harrington and Vale signed long-term contracts. I consulted on expansions, acquisitions, pricing overhauls. My bank account grew. My confidence deepened. Still I stayed quiet. No announcements. No social media. Meanwhile, Ethan's life became a highlight reel, wine tastings, charity galas, articles mentioning the Harrington name. Your brother was there last night, Mom would text. Asterisk, can you imagine? Asterisk. Then, an email from Graham's assistant. Asterisk, finalizing details for the Partners and Family Gala in Miami. It's also the official engagement celebration for Miss Leah Harrington and Mr. Ethan Walker. Asterisk. Asterisk, Graham and Celeste are especially excited to honor you that evening. They'd like you front and center when we unveil the Wall of Innovation. Asterisk. Attached, the invitation. My name printed near the top. Asterisk, asterisk, strategic partners, asterisk, asterisk. Ethan's name? Lower down. Asterisk, asterisk, family of the groom, asterisk, asterisk. The irony was almost poetic. They'd spent a year hiding me from their elite circle. But at this party, I wouldn't just be present, I'd be celebrated. The Miami flagship was everything my parents dreamed of. Marble floors, towering palms, floral arrangements worth more than my first car. I arrived early, badge clipped to my lapel. Emma Walker, data and growth strategist. Not asterisk, Ethan's awkward sister. Asterisk. Not asterisk, the one who stays home. Asterisk. Just me. Inside, the Wall of Innovation gleamed under soft light. My frame sat at the center. Graham and Celeste greeted me like family. Introduced me to board members, executives, people whose jobs I'd helped save. For an hour, I forgot about my blood relatives entirely. Then I heard her voice. Asterisk. Oh, this place is wow. Asterisk. My mother. They entered. Dad in a suit that looked cheap under the chandeliers. Mom clutching her purse like a lifeline. Ethan and Leah leading like royalty. Before I could step back, a coordinator approached. Asterisk, Ms. Walker. Mr. Harrington wants you near the wall for the announcement. Asterisk. So I stood beside my own photo as my family crossed the foyer, oblivious. Then Celeste tapped her glass. Tonight is about the people who held this company up when things looked impossible, she said. She walked to my frame. Asterisk, this is Emma Walker, data and growth strategist. The mind behind the turnaround that kept these resorts alive. Asterisk. Silence. My parents froze. Ethan's head snapped toward me. Celeste turned, and her eyes lit up. Asterisk, Emma. You're here. You're Ethan's sister. Asterisk. Dozens of heads turned. Graham stepped forward, gaze sharp as he looked at my parents. Asterisk. You never told us your daughter was our Emma. Asterisk. My mom stammered. Asterisk. We didn't realize you knew her like that. She does some kind of computer work. We didn't think it was important. Asterisk. Graham's voice dropped icy calm. Asterisk, important? Without her, this party doesn't happen. This building doesn't stay full. Half the people here would be unemployed. Asterisk. Celeste added gently. Asterisk. We've been bragging about her for months. I can't imagine hiding someone like Emma. Asterisk. Ethan pulled me aside, pale. Asterisk. You didn't tell me you were working with them. Asterisk. I met his eyes. Asterisk. You didn't ask. Asterisk. Later, in a quiet hallway, my parents cornered me. You made us look like fools, Mom whispered. I shook my head. Asterisk. I didn't make you look like anything. You chose to believe I was less than I am. That's on you. Asterisk. Dad tried to regain control. Asterisk. You could have warned us. Asterisk. Asterisk warned you so you could pretend to be proud? So you could invite me this time as a prop. Asterisk. I took a breath. Asterisk. I will always be your daughter. But I'm done begging to sit at a table where the price of admission is pretending I'm small. Asterisk. Asterisk. I'm not shrinking anymore so you can appear bigger. Asterisk. Back in the ballroom, Graham introduced me on stage as a key partner. The applause wasn't polite. It was earned. People clapped because they'd seen the results. Because they valued clarity over charm, substance over performance. Standing there, I finally understood. The most powerful revenge isn't loud. It's silent. Asterisk. It's walking away from people who discount your worth and building a life so undeniable they can't ignore it, even when they try. It's showing up, not for their approval, but for your own dignity. If your family has ever made you feel like the embarrassing one, the extra one, the one who needs to be hidden so they can shine, I want you to hear this. Their inability to see your value does not erase the value itself. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to grow in silence. You are allowed to return not for revenge but for yourself. And when you do, you won't need to say a word. Your life will speak for you. So I'll leave you with this question. Who in your life has underestimated you? And what quiet victory are you building right now that they'll one day have to witness?